Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And got a good one for you today. There's so much business news around the world that affects each and every one of us, and it's awesome. And before I get into it, please take a second. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Join the email list because we have another email going out this week. And let's get right into it. David Rosenberg is one of the top economists that is very well respected. And after the Fed raised interest rates yesterday, he steps forward and says, wait a second, guys, this is going to be an absolute disaster. If you think that we're going to experience some soft landing, you're kidding yourself. The stock market is basically a get-rich-quick scheme ruled by AI right now. So we have not seen anything like this in our history, and people are foolishly chasing this train. So once again, do you believe this? Do you think that the stock market is just going to continue to go up? Now, with interest rates going up, with the inverted yield curve, with the fact that you're going to see more and more businesses suffer right now and more layoffs get announced. You know, PacWest Bank, merging with Bank of California is ridiculous. Okay, it's an absolute joke, but you're going to see more and more of this, and you're going to see more and more of this where shareholders are given, stock in the new company. Who wants that? How do when you buy a stock and you believe in the investment, I'm going to put my money in this. People do it for a lot of different reasons. Some do it to gamble, like Mr. Rosenberg's talking about, and that it's just a big get-rich-quick scheme. And people are not in it for the long haul. Most people, should be low and slow and do it, with that mindset. I'm at Mason Regional Park today. It's nice. But absolutely crazy, absolutely nuts. And you're seeing this thing completely out of control. Read a great story about how young people, young and old, young people to start with, are disillusioned. They can't get a job for the degree that they have. They're not respected. When they go apply for things, it's not what was promised. And you're hearing this over and over and over again. And why go to school? Why get a degree? Why do this if you're just going to be in debt? Now, doesn't this sound like my kid or some other college kid right now? These are kids in China. These are kids in China that are experiencing the exact same thing. So the economy in China is a complete mess. It is absolutely upside down, and you're seeing more and more of this from around the world where what's a college degree going to do for you? Seriously, is it going to make it so that you're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, be able to pay your student loan debt back? No. We talked about that college last week that was doing the cheap college. If you have to have a degree, that's what you need to do, is do this as economically as possible. As much as I give my son a hard time and certain things I'm refusing to pay for, I admire the fact that he's doing this with what he wants to do and not going to debt. So, work 3 jobs, do it the way you're supposed to do it. Okay? We'll see how it ends, though. That's the point. What's your degree going to do for you? When you hear of people like Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, one of them, because I always get corrected when I hear that, the Rothschilds are worth $18 trillion. Anyways, when you hear these rich people say that they don't need a degree, they want experience, and they want experiences, I think that's what we're looking at. When you look at industries like acting, industries like film, industries like communications, okay, I don't have a communications degree, guys. I don't have anything like that. Okay, I'm a marketing guy. My business experience comes from, 40 years of doing this. Okay, I'm a connective marketer, guys. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at putting people together. I'm good at the introduction. I'm good at making sure you can market your company with no money. And that's one thing that I'm seriously thinking about writing a book on, is marketing without any dough. Hey guys, how are you? They're hanging out. It's like this one's barking like a dog. Bark. Bark like a dog. Your neighbor that's really weird that has that funky dog bark? That's it. It's not a dog, it's a duck. Anyways, we're seeing this in such an odd way right now with everything. And when you look at business and you look at the problems that we have, Verizon had a blackout with their internet that affected most of the country on Wednesday of this week. Did that affect you guys? Who has Verizon that was not blown away by that? And again, you know, things like this happen. Did you hear it happen? It's happening right now. What's happening, guys? Be more specific when you guys send me stuff. If you've got the end of the world theories, because I love them, I really do. But I also want it not like I can't talk about it. You know, Dan, the thing. Okay, so Verizon went down. Transaction couldn't get conducted. You guys have to understand this. Cloud-based businesses that sell things over the internet, when this happens, commerce doesn't happen. ATMs don't happen. You know, you swiping your credit card doesn't happen. You checking the credit line doesn't happen. So people need to understand this, that this limits the amount of business that you can do when these things go south. They've got the electric boats out there. One guy had his dog that was jumping in the lake earlier. Let's see if I can film him a little bit. But really a nice spot. I have a lot of respect for the military, police officers, firemen, nurses, especially nurses. Anyways, Air Force just announced that they are out of money and they have funding shortfall. And there's a great story below about that. But what they did 2 weeks later was, hey, wait a second. We may have this funding shortfall, but we're going to have to offer bonuses to have people sign up because recruitment's down. And so the Air Force is having to offer incentives to have people join. You know, that's sad, guys. When you think about this, recruitment for our military is off. I think it's 19%, almost 20% right now. And that's sad, guys. I mean, I know two people. Friend's son had breakfast with today. His son's a firefighter in Los Angeles County, and he is making money hand over fist. Overtime and all this extra. Hey, you want to take another shift? Just never made so much money in his life. He's 30 years old and just living the dream. Always wanted to be a firefighter, always wanted to be in this area, and he's doing that and he's making all this money. Now, I know the military pays a lot less, but you can get, you know, education, so much out of it. And it's tragic, you know, that we have to resort to this right now. So, but we need to do it. Next thing is, there's something that was sent to me this last week that's now affected Canada, and that is, do you want to travel to Europe next year? Well, you have to have an entry permit to travel in 30 different countries in Europe right now. This is really pretty out here. So an entry permit costs about €7, about $8, and you fill this thing out, and you need to get it pre-approved before you get there. Don't show up and not have it filled out. Imagine that. Imagine walking into a country, and then once you have an entry permit, could you imagine that? Huh. Kind of interesting, don't you think? Who are you? What do you do? Where do you work? You know, what's your name? What's your social? What's your digits? You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Anyways, so you guys get what I'm talking about. Imagine 7 million people times $8. Okay, it's a lot of money. Anyways, nurses again. Nurses in New Jersey are fed up, absolutely fed up with the wages and the promises. During the health crisis, they were all promised, you know, different, better time slots, better working conditions, bonuses, hours, weekends off, vacation pay. No. So at Bellevue, hundreds of nurses yesterday went out and were on strike and freaking out over this. And you can't blame them at this point. There's nothing you can do to sit there and say that what they're going through is fair right now, because once again, frontline workers, totally respected, everything was great, and if you do this for us, we'll make you whole. And I know nurses that have told me it was just a lie, it was just a sales job. It was a sales job with nothing attached to it, and they feel stupid now. So How about this? I know 3 nurses right now that say, I'm looking for something else, completely out of this. I may go work for a doctor and do something else, but I'm not going to work for the hospital. I'm not going to work for the health clinic. I'm not going to do this anymore. How awful is that? Okay. It's just terrible. When you think about that and you think about the school teachers that were leaving, I've known half a dozen school teachers, not counting the people that have written me letters, but so many people that are just fed up and changed jobs during this time. And it's terrible that we lose these people, because people go into medicine as a passion. They go into this because, like law enforcement, like my friend's son that's a firefighter, man, all he ever wanted to be for a kid was put fires out and rescue people. And guess what? He gets to do it now. So you want to disillusion that guy? That's terrible. I really hope this next story comes to light and is absolutely true. Nothing hurts more than a scorned nerd, okay? Because they don't know how to handle social situations at all. Sam Bankman-Fried may go to jail and may be pulled off of bail because he is being blamed for witness tampering. His ex-girlfriend, the beautiful Carolyn Ellison, she had a diary and kept a diary, which is just, imagine a diary talking about your criminal exploits, okay? Well, Sammy Bankman-Fried decided to release some of this stuff and shame her. And great story below about this, but it may be in violation of his bail right now. Oh, please, 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 please. Because I just think that, you know, friends and friends of friends that get smoking deals, every now and then, they just need to pay the price and not be little whiners and not be on an ankle bracelet at mom and dad's house that you paid for with somebody's, you know, else's money, okay? So it'll be nice to see if that goes together. And then, I got to get the name of this city right. Got to get the name of the city right. Germantown, Tennessee. Think about this, guys. They have not had good drinking water for almost a week now, 5 days. And the problem with it is that diesel fuel got into the water supply. Well, you can't fix that, guys. You can't burn it off. You can't filter it out. You can't cook with it and burn it out. Imagine that fun. That would be, send photos of that. But these poor people are suffering and don't have water for 5 days. I've talked to you guys about this. Water filtration, having water bottles in the house. I don't care if you're by yourself. Get a few cases of water in the house. And we've talked about this extensively. You know, you need to have a food supply. You know, you need to have emergency food. You know, My Patriot Supply that we've talked about in the past. Get stuff like that. I'll leave the link below again for that if you guys want to save money, because their discount's still good. If you buy food supply, they give you a free water filtration kit. That's the kind of stuff you need to have in the house so that if something happened, now you can't filter out diesel fuel. Don't be confused. This is catastrophic, but you have to have water in your house to bathe, to eat, to drink. Do you guys have a recycling program in your state? California has one that's kind of restrictive. It's kind of ridiculous too. And when you buy a soda, when you buy a can of beer, when you buy anything with a bottle on it, juice, they have a California redemption value applied to that. It's either 5 cents or 10 cents based on the size of the container. Now, the idea with this is that this is going to motivate you to save your recyclable items and then take them back. That's why the homeless people are digging through the trash. They look for these bottles and cans and things like that. Even if they're crushed, you can turn them back in and get the 5 cents or 10 cents, okay? There is a family that owns 7, 8 recycling centers here in California, and they had a scheme where they would take cans from Arizona that don't have the California redemption value to it, and they would bring them back. They brought 178 tons of empty containers here over the years and turned them back in at their recycling centers to the tune of $7.8 million. Wow. That is an elaborate scheme. So the Gonzalez family and extended members of that family, there's like 8 people that are being charged with this. But that's crazy, guys, because here's the thing. It's like we have cigarette stickers here, some, that charge a higher tax in California. We have a higher gasoline tax here. When you go to California and you buy gas, or people are floored that it's almost $1 more than when you're in Arizona. And everybody, when you drive from Arizona to California, people gas up right at the end. If you're only down a quarter of a tank, I see people fill up all the time because they don't want to pay the extra buck when they get across California state lines. Same thing with cigarettes, same thing with these aluminum cans and containers and beers and things like that. But what this family did was just, it was wild because they just did so much of it. I mean, so much. And, so share your thoughts on this. I'm always amazed at these things and how people get caught with this stuff, because it was just, they just did so many. And like all these different family members are being charged with this crime. The Department of Justice is involved. It's not just a California, case. So it's very serious, and it will be interesting to see how this plays out. But you're seeing things like this more and more. And again, as the economy goes down, you're seeing more and more crimes like this being committed all over the place that are much worse. So share your thoughts. Let me know about the recycling in your area, if you've ever seen anything like this and what you've seen people do. I really enjoy when smart financial geniuses step forward and make predictions and tell us how they think it's going to be. Thomas Petterfee is no dummy. This guy owns Interactive Brokerage, and he started one of the largest online brokerages in the world. And he said that the stock market is way too high. We need to have this thing cool down substantially, and that it is oversold and ridiculous right now. Now, read the article below because it's great. And again, he owns a brokerage house, guys. Wants your money, wants to get the commissions, want to have, you buy the ETFs, buy the stocks, buy everything. And that's what he's about. Jeffrey Sherman works for DoubleLine. Jeffrey Sherman says, listen, here's what's going to happen. This is going to collapse, and the Fed is going to have to lower interest rates by 1 percentage point. Okay, I think he's delusional myself, because I think that they've said nothing like that. Now, once again, when is this, recession that we're in, when is this going to be announced that we can talk about that? Now, Mr. Sherman works with another man you've heard of, Jeffrey Gundlach, who's an absolute genius. And Jeffrey Gundlach just says, hey, this is a mess. This is absolutely upside down, and people need to understand that there will be no soft landing for anyone. Now, I could understand that once, the cat's out of the bag and the soft landing is, over with and things crash down, you're going to have to start lowering interest rates. But all the experts are talking about 2025. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that these guys are remotely accurate with this or not? And the other thing is that I've had people write me lately that have asked me, hey, what do you think about, different investment funds, and what do you think about having your money in money market accounts? I would have your money spread around to as many places as possible right now. I would have cash on hand, enough that you guys, if you're married or you have a significant other, that only you know about it, and you don't talk about it. Hey, guess what? We put this in the drawer. Okay. I just had somebody tell me a horrific story about how they got robbed in their own home, and they think it was from a family member who, oh, by the way, this is where we keep the stuff. Okay. So keep it to yourself. Money market funds right now are good. I would look at having multiple bank accounts, credit unions, things like that, because I'm telling you, with, PacWest going down and what we're about to see next, and then people complaining of Bank of America. I need more proof on Bank of America right now before I sit there and start sounding the bell for you to get out of Bank of America. But we'll do that in the next couple days. And I'm going to go talk to people at Bank of America. And because, again, they're so big right now on mortgages and pushing mortgages and HELOC loans. That's what they want to do more than anything else right now. So you know, get ready for this, because what's going to happen is when it does go down and the banking situation collapses, they're going to sit there and say, see, we told you so. And we thought it was stable, and it's not. And again, our leaders right now, Janet Yellen, you know, her condition, Mitch McConnell, his condition, you know, it just goes on and on and on, guys. We need to have, we need to take care of ourselves is what we need to do right now, because these people I don't think have our best interests at heart between you and I. So share your thoughts on that stuff. The dog jumped in to go swim after the ducks. That's funny. She's just looking for a friend. I always like to hear about people's vacation spots and why they like to go there. And I know people that, you know, for 25 years have gone to this island every year. They've gone to Lake Tahoe for 2 weeks, you know, things like that. Well, Kyle and Kaylee O'Rear wanted to set up their home in Lake Tahoe. They're young, they're in their 20s, and just found it to be a paradise. Moved there in 2019, and thought this could be our forever place. This place is great. Health crisis hits. Home prices shoot up through the roof. Jobs become scarce to get, and now they're saying, well, we could never live here. We don't want to live here now. It's not the same community it was in 2019. So what you're going to see is more communities like that are going to get completely decimated over the course of the next year. Now, Lake Tahoe is no San Francisco. It's no Chicago. It's no New York City. They're not having those type of problems. Hello, Mr. Geese. I assume it's a boy. Anyways, you know what I mean? It's just unaffordability, which goes to my next story, which more workers are working past the age of 75 right now. I have a friend of mine who's in his mid-60s, a brilliant retired businessman. I want something to do, you know? And got plenty of money. You need the money? No, just want something to do, okay? And grocery guy, super smart, and knows his stuff. But again, I'm not going to sit there and clip coupons and play bridge all day. So as he looks for different opportunities and different things, you're seeing more and more people like that. I myself, I don't know what not working looks like. Not consulting, not talking to clients, not doing what I'm doing every day until 2 o'clock in the morning. I just don't know what that's like. So, you know, tell me, okay? You know, people have to work out of necessity, but you're seeing a huge percentage of these people that are basically retirement age. They don't want to retire. They don't want to stop working. And, you know, when you think about people like that, professionals like that, I admire people like that. My friend's dad, who was in the foreclosure business, the guy's 85 years old. He retired just because it just got to the point that he couldn't drive. And that's what made him retire. Not because he didn't want to work, but super sharp guy. Get him there and he'll be great in a meeting. Final story, we talked about this last month, and it's that flying car, a Leaf, okay? Just got approved. You know, they're taking deposits now, guys. You can give them $400 to $1,500 if you want to be preferred for the flying car. But there's a great article below, and there's a great bunch of comments below with the article that you have to read. Or wait a second, this is not some flying car. You need a pilot's license for this. You know, grandma's not going to buy this thing and fly it. You're not just going to have any jamoke, open his garage and fly this thing. You're going to have it take off from a heliport. That's called a helicopter, guys. You know, oh, John's got a helicopter in his garage. No, he doesn't. Nobody does. You know what I mean? Unless he lives out in the backwoods of nowhere and he's got that, smuggling, you know, cocaine and bushels of weed. But anyways, John's not, John's entrepreneurial. So the average pilot's license is going to cost you 40 grand, according to this thing. But with all the deposits that they've taken thousands of deposits now, they anticipate we're going to have $750 million because this car is going to cost $300,000 a piece. You hope it costs $300,000 a piece. So how's that Cybertruck doing, that deposit you guys made for that thing? So let me know, share your thoughts on this stuff. And again, it's great reading the story because it's not a car, it's a helicopter, and it will take off. It needs a helipad to take off like this, not like this, okay? Not a dragster. Anyways, please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Join the email list, guys. It's such a party there. You just want to be part of that, okay? Onward and upward, guys. I'll see you guys very soon.